Hello, I'm Annette Young and welcome to the 51%, a show about women reshaping our world. In this special edition, we're again reporting on the plight of Afghan women as August 15 marks 1 year since the Taliban seized power in Afghanistan. The group having imposed a harsh version of Islamic Sharia law. Women are banned from political life and most jobs. University and high school education is off limits, while wearing an all-covering veil in public is now mandatory. In the space of just a few months, Afghan women have lost basically all of their rights. But what happens if you're a female entrepreneur? Our team meets a young businesswoman in Kabul as she struggles to keep her company alive under the Taliban regime.
In the heart of Kabul, this social enterprise continues its production with the utmost discretion. Here, there are only women employees. They make reusable sanitary pads. Despite the many difficulties since the Taliban took power, Fawzia Aminy, the head of the company, refuses to give up.
Most of the time, I prefer to stay indoors in the office. If I want to go out, I have to be accompanied by a male relative. The current government does not like women to work or get an education. If they realize there are women gathering here, they'll think this place is bad, that there must be boys and girls partying and doing immoral things.
Fawzia Aminy has lost her independence as a female entrepreneur. To continue working, she had to ask her brother for help.
At the beginning, I took care of everything, but I encountered a lot of problems when I went to the ministries. Sometimes they wouldn't even let me enter because I'm a woman. Even if I entered, they didn't let me speak. They told me I had to come back with a male relative and that he was the one who should do the talking. That's why I asked my brother to help.
I believe in the ability and talent of women and girls. I've always tried to help my sister achieve her plans. The Taliban don't value women. That's why I take care of official duties that involve liaising with the government.
Most of the employees here are sole breadwinners of their families, like Farnaz. She works every afternoon, 6 days a week for 3,000 Afghanis, the equivalent of €32 per month.
We cannot trust the Taliban. She's a woman and she doesn't have a brother and her father is away. When we sleep at night, we don't turn off the light because we're afraid someone will break into the house.
Since they issued the decree on the obligation to wear the full veil, the Taliban started stopping women in the streets in different parts of the city and disrespecting them. I wish I was a boy. I could have worked freely, but I'm a girl in a country where, when a woman tries to open a store or a business, she becomes a laughingstock in this society.
Although some women still dare to defy the restrictions imposed by the Taliban regime, their numbers are decreasing with each passing day.
Now, for the Taliban, the thought of women serving as judges over men is completely and utterly unthinkable. Following the US invasion in 2001, sweeping legal reform saw 250 female judges being appointed to the bench. But even before the Taliban takeover last August, female judges and lawyers regularly faced threats or were attacked by Taliban members. In January 2021, 2 women judges on the Supreme Court were assassinated on their way to work in Kabul. Their colleague, Judge Fawzia Aminy, managed to escape to Britain via Greece within weeks of Kabul falling. The woman who helped facilitate her rescue is Baroness Helena Kennedy QC, the director of the International Bar Association's Human Rights Institute. And I'm delighted to say they both join me now from London. Judge Aminy, thank you so much for your time. When did you realise that you had to leave Afghanistan?
It was the month of August when I was forced to leave my country. I lost all my responsibilities, all the studies I had done, and the things I had achieved. Unfortunately, I had to leave them behind. We received an alert from the Taliban saying they had started to commit injustices, particularly against women. And we could see there was a change in how they went about the law. Doors to the prisons were opened, and we were threatened several times. We left our country with the help of Baroness Helena Kennedy, so that we could be safe in another country. Unfortunately, leaving ours. So, for the time being, we are staying here.
Baroness Kennedy, how hard was it to organise an escape route for these women?
Well, of course, the best thing would have been if they had managed to get out before the closure date at the end of August of last year. And unfortunately, most of these judges ended up being stranded in Afghanistan with basically a death penalty hanging over their heads because they were on the kill list of the Taliban. And security services made it very clear that these were some of the people at highest risk in Afghanistan. So we ended up, although it was never the plan, we ended up chartering 3 aeroplanes to evacuate 103 women judges. It took a lot of negotiation, a lot of fundraising, a lot of organising. We were able to have the lists of who the women judges were from the International Association of Women Judges. And we did our best, and we got 103 women judges, their husbands, supportive, good men, and their children. So it was 500 people we got out. But it was hard, and unfortunately, had difficulty getting countries to take these wonderful women.
Judge Aminy, a estimated 80 or so women judges, prosecutors and lawyers are still in Afghanistan. I understand you are in regular contact with many of them. What are they telling you?
It's obvious that they're in a very bad situation. They have lost their confidence, and they have lost their rights. The right to work, to continue their studies, and to have an income. So they don't have any responsibility anymore, and they have lost everything they had before. They stay hidden inside houses. The new government has not given them any rights. I am in contact with them, and they are in an extremely complicated situation, both financially and in terms of security. They can't use their skills anymore, and they are really afraid their families won't be able to access training or education either. They are no longer financially autonomous, and so today they're dealing with significant problems. And I'm very worried about all the other judges there, worried for them as well as for their families and children. I'm in contact with them every day, and wherever they are in the world, I keep in touch. We would like to be able to maintain this link and continue to hear from them and help them.
Baroness Kennedy, is the international community seeking at all to get these remaining women out?
Well, to my shock, it was actually the hardest work happened after we had evacuated the women in these flights, because I thought the world would open its arms to such brave women. Now, I have tried to persuade the British government to let me bring another set of flights out of Afghanistan. I would like other European countries and France. I'd like to have some help in providing visas to remaining women, brave women who are making the rule of law possible. I'd like to be able to get them out. And I know that it's really a question of having visas made available to them and then facilitating the landing of flights in European countries.
Judge Aminy, in your opinion, what needs to be done to immediately help those women who have been left behind?
The best way for the international community, Baroness Kennedy, and all the other countries that helped the women and children flee so we could at least have peace of mind and live in safety, is to not forget about us, to provide humanitarian aid so that we can evacuate other people in order for them to have a normal life and at least be able to sleep peacefully. But unfortunately, according to my information, they have to change their place of residence every day to stay safe.
I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there. I want to thank the both of you for coming in and talking to us.
Thank you for your interest. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And that's it for now. We'll be taking a break over the European summer and we'll be back in early September with a brand new series. In the meantime, we are also saying au revoir to Virginie Hertz, the presenter of our French sister show Actuel, who's taking a new job here at France 24. Back in 2013, Virginie originally came up with the idea of this program and asked if I was interested in creating an English version. 9 years later, we now have sister shows in Arabic and Spanish, along with many memories as we work closely together to cover a wide variety of issues impacting women. We're going to leave you with some of the images from an incredible 9 years, wishing you all the very best, Virginie, in your new position, and bye for now.
Amazing nature, unpronounceable volcanoes, Bjork and Game of Thrones. They're just some of the things you might think of relating to Iceland. But did you know this tiny island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean is one of the most creative nations in the world? Join us on the Isle of Artists to find out why.
Encore, presented by Eve Jackson on France 24 and France24.com.